You're watching Easy Way TV, powered by EasyWayNetwork.com.
Better Vision for Children, or BVC, is on a mission to protect what matters most: the gift of sight. Every year, thousands of children and teens go undiagnosed with vision problems that can lead to struggles in school, low self-esteem, or even permanent loss of eyesight. But with early eye screenings, we can change their future. Imagine a child who can't see the board in class, or a teen who feels left behind, when all it would take is a simple screening to put them on a path to clarity, confidence, and opportunity. Tonight, your support means more than just a donation. It means a child gets to read their first book clearly, play without barriers, and see the world with hope. Together, we can prevent vision loss before it's too late. Let's give these children the brighter future they deserve.
Hello. Welcome everybody to RBL Live. Subscribe to RBLLive.com. I'm your host, Dr. Zuley, co-host. Good morning, Dad.
Good morning,
Dad.
Radio Boomers Live listeners around the world. Good morning to our Easy Way family. And now we have Eric Zuley with us, the superstar host of the show. Eric, I don't know how you do it. I say this every week. I don't know how you keep up with all this new technology and keep Easy Way on top of things, but it's definitely benefiting Better Vision for Children.
Well, and I love that Better Vision for Children hat you got on there on your head. So shout out to Charlie and Jamie and the whole group that made that. You got your official BVC hat now. And that's another thing too, guys, is if you need anything custom, any custom apparel, any custom fashion in any means, we do have that in-house. And you know, speaking of technology, guys, let me direct your focus and attention to the screen. You'll see to my left, we have a donate scan code, so you can take your phones out and then click your camera, and you can scan that code if you want to make a donation to Better Vision for Children. And to my right, you have the download button, download scan to download our app, which is social network and television station and so many other things. We have a special group inside of the app that are RBL Live fans that enjoy the show, and everybody puts in their content and their best moments of the show and so on and so forth. So you want to make sure that you scan that for free, and the invite code is Easy Way. And if you like the show, if you enjoy what you watch today, you want to make sure you go to www.rbllive.com and press the share button. You know, share with your friends.
Sure. That's the way to do it.
We got a lot of updates, Dad. A lot of things going on. We just got done with the Easy Way Words Golden Gala. That was amazing.
What an event that was, Eric. You outdid yourself. I'm really proud. I mean, that was like walking into a Tonight Show situation or something. I mean, with all the computers that were there and the whole line of press, and back of them, you had all these computers and technical stuff. I don't know how they do that.
Yeah, and if you guys are not following Easy Way Family, the Easy Way Family Instagram, this is our official Instagram for the Easy Way Family community, and you'll see a lot of highlights, a lot of people that have collaborated with this Instagram. We're almost at 600,000 viewers a month now on this Instagram. This is where all the magic happens, so you want to make sure you follow this Instagram. Thank you to everybody that liked the sizzle and the promo. Shout outs to Adam Hayes, our producer that did this particular promo. Shout outs to all of our production with Moon Productions and Eric Productions and Hayes Production and everybody that attended, all of the attendees and the sponsors, especially our sponsors, Patriox Water, which is the sponsor of the Today Show, Dr. Nick Delgado with Delgado Protocol, Dr. Calm, Dr. Melissa Balazan and Melissa Heathers, the Women's Channel, Wealth XO, all of our sponsors, all of our attendees. You know, we can't do what we do without you guys. Shout out to all the celebrities that attended from the Cannon family. Reuben Cannon performed, James Cannon, the father was there. I know all the Cannon family, Gabe, Nick, and Caleb was in full support. The event was hosted by Brian Hooks from Soul Plane, and so many other platforms. 3 Strikes. We honored Kate Linder with the Lifetime Achievement Award. We had a actress on a one battle after another. It's a 13-time Oscar nominated TV series, TV project. You know, Starletta Dupois. Then you had Charlie, our little superstar kid of the show. She had a fashion designer line, and we did an auction. We had Soul Train there. We had that right there was a big designer. He did the live on pay-per-view, Moon, just so much. And it was at an amazing hotel in Orange County. We're making a big dent. Dr. Natalie, there's Johnny Vinokur, there's Dancing with Soul Train. You know, there's one of our top honorees, Juliet Hagerson, and so many others. So all the sponsors, everybody that supported, we appreciate all the sponsors, and
we appreciate Kate for coming down like she did. You know, Eric. I mean, talking about being in 2 places at the same time. She flew in and just had to take off, and it was great that she was on the cargo with us.
We definitely appreciate Kate. We appreciate everybody. Sean Riggs with Stomp the Yard, and he's Lazarus now. They're launching their new movie on Tubi. Make sure you watch Lazarus 2. It's launching on Tubi. There's a big movie premiere on March 28th. Shout outs to Joe and his major fighting organization. I'll be presenting at his big fight coming up on March 28th. And I mean, there's so many models and all the support, just everybody that supported. We are already getting ready to do this again next year. It'll be at the Voca Laguna Hills in Orange County. We're making a big dent in Orange County right now. So you want to make sure you guys stay involved. All the information's on the app, EasyWay Interactive. Download the app for free. The invite code is EasyWay. Speaking of the app, we're going to go to commercial break. And then when we come back, we actually have one of the attendees of the EasyWay Awards Golden Gala. And he happens to be a legacy. You know, he has to be a continuing legacy for Louis Gossett Jr.'s.
And great interview with his father.
Yeah, and we're going to showcase that actually today, Dad. We're going to showcase your interview with Louis Gossett Jr. and we're going to get into it. We're going to really get into what's going on with Louis Gossett's legacy and what's going on with his story.
We appreciate all the support for Better Vision for Children. And that's bbccharity.org, guys. And got a lot going on I'm going to share with you down the road.
And you can call 877-399-2929 if you do enjoy the show, you want to get involved, you want to be a guest, you want to invite anybody to get involved. Make sure you follow Better Vision for Children on Instagram. All right. So you're watching RBL Live. We'll be right back after this commercial break with Louis Gossett Jr.'s son himself, Satie Gossett. We'll be right back.
EasyWay Interactive. Start connecting the EasyWay. Are you ready to connect like never before? Introducing the EasyWay Interactive app, your ultimate social solutions network. Whether you're looking to network, collaborate, or simply share ideas, EasyWay makes it easy to engage with like-minded individuals and organizations. Discover innovative solutions, join exciting discussions, and expand your horizon, all in one powerful platform. Don't miss out on the future of social networking. Download EasyWay Interactive now and unlock endless possibilities.
All right, make sure you download the app. It is where all the magic is happening. So coming up soon, and Satie, go ahead and share that link out with all your friends. We're going to be bringing you here up on stage soon. If you guys are watching the show, smash that share button. Use the hashtag EasyWayFamily. And so coming up is Satie Gossett, who's a producer and a director and in the industry in a big way himself. But he happens to be the legacy of the great Louis Gossett Jr., actor extraordinaire, award-winning actor, and basically a friend of the EasyWay family. You know, we knew Louis Gossett Jr. You know, pretty well. And before we bring on his son, we're going to just showcase a quick little interview that you did, Dad.
All right.
With Louis Gossett Jr. Himself. This was when I was hosting the Easy Jackson turkey giveaway, and I think it was a really great interview. And we'll
here with you know who, and the reason he likes doing a little interview with me is because he looks younger. It makes him look a little younger. You know,
It's true. It's true.
So being the older guy here, I thought we regress a little bit, and we could go back to the 60s
Yeah,
and the
maybe
50s.
The 50s. Yeah.
Yeah. And you remember when the Wild One with Marlon Brando probably came out.
Oh, well, I remember before that, but I'm not.
Before.
I'm not talking.
Not
about
talking. And this is a real brief interview. So, no, we enjoy. Every time we go to a charity, we see this guy around, and it's amazing. And it's all about giving. And I've met his family. His son is a great guy. And how many kids do you have?
We got 2 sons and 9 grandchildren.
9 grandchildren. Okay, so you're over 60. Okay,
Yeah, well, over 70.
over 70.
Yep.
Okay, but great kids, and they're all into the giving. So this is what it's all about. And if everybody did this, we'd be in good shape.
Right overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight.
All right.
One question.
One question. Okay. If you could look like any celebrity, who would it be?
Louis Gossett Jr.
Louis Gossett Jr. We're going to meet him someday.
One of these days.
I hear he might be around sometime, but he's hard to get hold of. But yeah, I could see what you mean.
Yeah.
I hear Bill Medley myself.
Yeah.
And somebody said, you look like Clint Eastwood. I'm thinking, well, he's 83, so that makes sense.
He's doing okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, so that was fun. That was
We're
awesome.
just kicking back, that was fun.
I'm looking
Kicking
forward
back,
to without further ado, let's bring.
bring that day with that turkey drive. I mean, there was people lined up for blocks.
We fed over 10,000 people that day. It was very, very rewarding. And so you guys see on the screen, we're bringing him on the stage now. Satie Gossett, Louis Gossett Jr.'s son has joined us. Welcome to the show, Satie.
Hey,
How are you?
Boy, I tell you what, these months and years go by fast, don't they? Oh, we got sound.
Unmute, but there you go. He
There we
is
go. Okay.
the son and the legacy of the great Louis Gossett Jr. He's a producer himself. We are going to be bringing his television show, Pan and Zoom, onto Easy Way TV. We're excited about that. I know a lot of our fans are excited about that, to learn more about the show. And you've been in the industry for a long time. We met you through the Access Urban Hollywood circle, and we became friends. You went to our Easy Way Awards Golden Gala. You just recently went to the LA Fashion Week event with Eva, and we've been chatting on the phone back and forth. We're going to be featuring you in our Easy Way magazine for the Golden Gala issue. And now you're here on Radio Boomers Live, our #1 top father-son show for the whole network. So thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, nice seeing you last night.
Yeah, it was good. You are an omnipresent man. You're everywhere.
I try to keep up with you guys. I'll tell you, it's a fast-paced world today. Are you adapting to that? Okay, all this technology.
Doing the best I can. Once I try and get a handle on something, they come up with something new. Like
That's
even
just
with
it.
AI. First, you learn about Sora. Now there's the nano banana and this, that, and the other thing, and it's like I can't keep up.
Yeah, there's always something new. And Sora's a good. If you guys don't know what Sora is, Sora's a good social network that's like a TikTok, only you can do AI videos. So we're popping on the screen here, Satie. This was the fashion event that you went to yesterday with LA Fashion Week. I think it was called Rock Your Line. You were sitting in VIP, obviously. There's a little VIP rope, and you were hanging. What did you think of the event?
I thought it was great. It seemed like a great platform for people to showcase their talents on multiple levels, whether it's modeling, the fashion designs, or singing or rapping. It just kind of ran the gamut. And there's a lot of good talent out there. And got to spend some time with Miss Charlie. She's a powerhouse, and it's cool because there's another fashion designer up there that started around the same age that she did.
Mm.
Yeah.
But she kind of got to see her future, but Charlie is already 50 shows deep.
Oh yeah. No,
Crazy.
Charlie's a little prodigy for sure, and she's actually our official designer here at Easy Way.
Well, she did my hat, Eric.
Did the hat? Yeah, we got to definitely showcase that. Go ahead and put it up to the camera again, Dad. She did do the official Better Vision for Children BVC charity hat. If you guys want a BVC charity hat and you want to support BVC charity, reach out to Jamie. She's watching right now, which is Charlie's mother. Jamie, you can put your information in easywaystore.com if you guys want to get a hat. But Satie, this show is going to be about you, man. You're the guest. I would love to hear your story. and where it all began from, and you know, really what are you doing in the industry, so we can get our audience to learn a little bit more about you. And remember, guys, all of the people on our show, you can find them on the Easy Way app, on the Wall of Fame. You can look at their profile and you can connect directly to them. So if you like what he has to say today, you can connect directly to him in our app. We have our special RBL Live group that you can connect with our guests. So Satie, hey, we're gonna give you the stage, man. Give us your story, man. Who is Satie Gossett, and why do you do what you do?
Well, I mean, it's kind of, I grew up in the business. I was born into it, you know, kind of like Bane from Batman, you know. Just, you know, if I grew up in a family of plumbers, I'd probably be a plumber. And just, I happen to have a world famous father. And, you know, the number one question a lot of people ask me is like, what was it like growing up with him as your father? And there's really no frame of reference because that's the only thing I've ever known, you know, like, you know, people like Marvin Gaye and Richard Pryor used to come over and just hang out, and Muhammad Ali used to come over. Muhammad is my godfather. Holly Robinson Pete was my babysitter. So it was like a who's who, you know, Sammy Davis Jr., Sidney Poitier, all these guys. It's like Norm from Cheers. They would just all come over and hang out at my dad's house, and everyone was on a first name basis, and that's how I grew up. So it was very normalized for me. Unless I talked to someone who it wasn't normal to, then they'd flip out, say, "Oh my God, you're so lucky," and this and everything. And I was like, no, these are just regular people at the end of the day. And, you know, my dad's house was a place where everyone could kind of let their hair down and be themselves and not have to, you know, put on the mask of being a celebrity. And so, I would travel the world with him to different movie sets and meet all different types of, you know, who's who, dignitaries, celebrities, athletes, so on and so forth. It wasn't until really college that I started to take an interest in filmmaking. You know, I've always been a movie buff. You know, that, you know, in some senses, I feel like TV and films were my babysitter back in the day before the internet. You know, you would just go to the movies all day, or when VHS, you know, I would just rent tapes and play video games, and you could quote movies. But to think about it as a vocation, again, I didn't really think of that until college. It was like, well, you have to pick a major. It's like, oh, well, I like film. So I went to Syracuse University and I studied TV, radio, film production, and got a major in communications, a Bachelor of Science. And then after that, I kind of hit the ground running and worked at various production companies. I worked at CBS for a while as an executive page and kind of learned the ropes about the different facets of how a TV network works. And it was funny.
Okay, not to interrupt you, and please hold your thought, but can you move to your right a little bit, because you're not centered there? You go much better, because a couple people were commenting that watching you when we have you centered. So you're saying you worked with NBC, was it, or
yes.
CBS, and then you were going into something else. Please continue.
Yeah, so, and it was funny, then Les Moonves, he was the head of CBS, and when we'd ride the elevator together, he'd always ask, hey, do you think your dad would be in this new show? And that kind of tweaked my dad. It's like, no, he needs to go through my representation, not you. And I'm like, Dad, I'm just a messenger, man. And then, yeah, like I said, I stopped working there, and I worked on a lot of productions like Everybody Loves Raymond, LA Doctors, some movies here and there. And then it was like in 2010 where I started kind of saying, well, let me just start making films on my own. And then I just started making short films year after year, and kind of built the momentum of working with people and building relationships. And it's been kind of off to the races ever since. It's always trying to find that next project. You got to be like a shark. You know.
And you're a filmmaker, you're a writer, you're a creative entrepreneur, and you're dedicated to telling powerful cultural, you know, stories that resonate with people. And as the son of the Academy Award winning actor Louis Gossett Jr., you know, you carry this like legacy and this weight on your shoulders in a sense, but of artistic excellence, while, you know, foregoing your path in film and media. So Satie, you're currently developing a documentary right now, exploring your father's life and impact, and blending personal insight with a broader cultural reflection.
Yes.
And your work often centers on the identity and legacy and transformation, that gets people to focus on elevating unprecedented voices. And in addition, you're filmmaking, and you have this Buddha Noir Buddha Noir Entertainment Company, and it's aimed at producing bold and meaningful content, and you approach your work with a resilience and a commitment to the growth of navigating other people's personal challenges with resilience, and your commitment to their growth is humbling and inspiring, I have to say. And your professional ambitions, you're rooted. And I want you to get into all of that. I want you to get you the chance. And Dad, I'm going to let you take the microphone. I'm just going to stop after I guide this. But you're a filmmaker, and you are working on this documentary for your father, for his legacy. That's really awesome for a son to be doing that. So let's talk a little bit about that, and then maybe even get into your Buddha Noir Entertainment.
Yeah, Buddha Noir is just a vehicle for that, and for hopefully other forthcoming projects that align with the same sensibilities. We started the documentary process probably about a year before my dad passed. And, we tried to get it to certain individuals to help elevate it. And I told my dad about that. But in the end, he basically said, it's great that these other individuals are interested, but I'd rather you do it, as a legacy. And, since he passed in 2024, navigating how to tell the story, who to reach out, who to try and include, finding the right financial situations to move the project forward. It's been eye-opening because there are people that want to help out, but you got to find the right people that will help maintain the integrity of the project, and also provide the autonomy, because again, this is my dad. I can't have someone else dictating how to tell my dad's story. So, and really being so close to when he passed, sometimes it's tough to kind of compartmentalize, because doing the documentary is kind of part of the grieving process, because you got to dive back in, you got to look at pictures, you got to look at movies, you got to talk about him in a past tense, when like 24 months ago he was sitting right next to you. Yeah. And, what his legacy means, and taking a step back and trying to be as objective as possible, but also telling it through, because not only are people going to discover, I'm kind of discovering stuff I didn't know about him, because people kind of bite their tongue when he's still around, but when he's gone, then people kind of slowly reveal their true feelings, positive and negative, about, my dad's legacy.
What might help is you can go and search out some of these, when they do the documentaries. I was watching one on John Candy the other day, and you've probably done this, but it'll give you an idea how they laid it out, the people they interviewed.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the John Candy one, and I've seen the Chevy Chase one, and the Mel Brooks one, and they're all very good. The one that Marichka Hargitay did on her was very good. My template is one called Senior. It's the one that Robert Downey Jr. did on his dad. It's on Netflix now. And then there's another one called Kid Stays in the Picture, about Robert Evans, the guy who ran Paramount Studios. Those are kind of my two templates. Because the issue is a lot of his contemporaries are gone.
Yeah.
So a lot of the visuals got to be told through pictures and film clips. I'm going to incorporate some AI into some reenactments of some of the things he talks about.
I was going to say that could help too,
which is very cool. And just maintaining the core and the heart of the story, about talking about who he was, and using as much of his voice as possible. and also his son kind of rediscovering who his dad was and what people thought of him.
It does make it a little bit different when you're talking about different generations. And in that era, you go to research and a lot of the people aren't around, like a lot of people I knew in business and real estate. We go to touch base somebody and they passed away 2 years ago or something. And you mentioned AI. So in your documentary work and your films and that, what are a couple of the real changes that you've noticed that you had to adapt to in the last couple of years, which probably incorporates AI, I suppose, right?
Not yet, but I do have ideas of how I want to use AI. I'm working with a filmmaker out of Georgia who's helping me with the AI reenactments, and he's done some exciting stuff. And then, in fact, he had met my dad at a previous film festival, so there was some synergy right there. So there's some commonality. And
he definitely liked taking time, which I know that when something comes up about, he had what I call heartfelt actions, and the Turkey Drive and many others. He liked reaching out and helping, which I think was passed down to you guys. I could tell.
Yeah, I mean, he was all about being of service and paying it forward, and which was great because you never know which generation is going to be helpful next. You can't just keep it all to yourself and
exactly
be isolated. It's all about helping the children. Like one of the grandest acts he did was adopting my brother at the age of 8 out of St. Louis because he saw him at a march. And my dad reached out to him and said, "Hey, do you want to come live with me?"
Films that we used to watch. I know you only go back so far, but what are you fairly happy with the movies you're seeing today compared to what you could go back, say, 20 years, or you watch some of your father's old films? You noticing a big difference in the ones today? Are you okay with them, or maybe disappointed, or you're satisfied with what's coming out today?
Well, I feel like it's harder to find, I don't want to say quality content today than it is, and maybe it's just because the way we grew up. I feel like it's harder to find quality content because there's so much out there. It's just like music. There's so much music, but very little of it is very good or holds your attention.
Like Gone with the Wind and the old movies of the past.
Yeah. I mean, like one of my dad's favorite movies that he did was a movie called The Skin Game, which came out in 1971.
70, yeah. I was going to say 70.
And that is with him and James Garner. And it's basically Django Unchained before Django Unchained.
Yeah.
And my dad is an intellectual, and his partner James Garner, they decide to go through the South and grift everybody, and my dad pretends to be a slave. And then he'll be sold off, and then they'll turn the tables on him, and they're on to the next town.
Yeah, Garner with Maverick, that was a big hit a long time ago.
And so, we circle back to my dad. The roles he chose chose intentionally to be kind of thinking out of the box, and there it is, right there. Thinking out of the box, when not playing just roles like this, but playing lawyers, doctors, attorneys, with the vision of showing Black people that they're more than just, the roles that they are stereotyped to play.
Yeah. Did you have some experiences on set? Were you allowed to, partake in some of the stuff?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I was a kid on set most of the time, and I didn't really care. I was a spoiled kid, so I was just saying, "Are you done yet, Dad? Are you done yet, Dad?" But then, as I came into my own as a filmmaker, I understood the process. Then everything became very fascinating, and he was in 2 of my films, which is very cool. He had a cameo in a film I did called 10 Minutes, and which went to the Cannes Film Festival, and then another film I called Jutholic, where he did the voiceover. And there you see the YouTube video of when my dad was nominated. Funny story about that. On the way there, see, there's me. You can see the side of my head there.
Yeah.
He asked if I would come on stage with him, and I said, "Yeah, sure, Dad." But then he won, and like you couldn't pull me out of that chair. I just froze up. So, like, I think if it was Eric would have went up, but I you could, and I see you see me. I'm like, oh hell no, I'm not going. And that's my dad's agent, and then Dustin Hoffman is trying to say, "Hey, go up there," and then I lost the moment, and my dad even gave me a little jab in his acceptance speech. Like, oh, my kid. I tried to get my kid to come up here with me, and I felt so bad because Christopher Reeve was presenting, and he was Superman. It's like, damn, I just got ready to meet Superman, and I let my dad down, and
Well, it all works out. You know, I've
Yeah,
had those
but-
regrets. Yeah.
and then I had this idea in my head when I started making films, like I got to try and win one before he passes, so I could make it up to him.
Mm.
But God had other plans. You know, I mean, I think the closest I
Yeah,
came.
but now, man, I mean, not to interrupt you, but you're continuing his legacy, and you're putting, I mean, the best thing you can possibly do is continue his memory and his legacy and put a documentary together. And that's no joke. It's a lot of work.
It is.
Collecting all that content.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's some people wanting to put a documentary around me right now, 25 years of what we've done. And it's like so much, I mean, work that goes into it. But the fact that that's your life's work now, like you're really dedicating a lot to this project. And I want to give you a chance to talk about that as well as Buddha Nor Entertainment and your new show, Pan and Zoom, which is going to be on Easy Way TV. But anybody that's watching the show right now, I'd love for you to talk to those investors, talk to those distributors, those actors that might want to be in it or whoever, to help you with that project, because we want to be a support arm for you. And like I said, Louis Gossett Jr. was a friend of ours. We did know him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You know, we are in the process of talking to investors, pitching to investors. You know, we have a pitch deck. We're putting together a strong sizzle reel of some of the interviews that we've done so far, and just making that big push. You know, because we got to do our interviews here. We got to do our interviews in New York and Atlanta. We have a lot of wonderful people lined up. Some of the people have certain stipulations around being part of the documentary. Like some say, well, you got to have all your funds there, and then distribution has to be in place before they'll conduct an interview. Some guys are like, no, just come right over. We'll make dinner and we'll have fun and we'll do the interview. So it's like navigating all these personalities. And the problem is not finding people to talk about him, because everyone is very effusive about my dad. It's finding the people that help move his narrative forward. You know, because if I took everyone on, I'd have like 300 people saying, oh, Louis Gossett Jr. was the greatest person. But it's not about that. It's about the totality of his life and career. You know, the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the struggles. You know, the self-reflection. Hearing from his peers, you know, about what they really thought, good, bad, and whatsoever, to make it like a big 3-dimensional picture. You know, and letting people who watch it, you know, walk away and say, okay, yeah, this is what happened, and this is what I thought of the man. And you know, I watched particularly the Chevy Chase documentary, and he was not a nice man to a lot of his peers, and it really hurt his career. But then you see what he went through growing up and the foundations of why he was how he was, and you gain a certain amount of empathy. You know,
I found out some of the people that are known entities in entertainment, that they're known for one thing in film, but when you talk to them behind the scenes, and a couple examples would be, you know, with Eric introduced me to Richard Dreyfuss, and Jaws and all that kind of stuff, and all the acting he's done, and yet he, you know, kind of wasn't into a lot of the, you know, the business. He, you know, parts of them like didn't like it, and I said, well, you're in the business. What's the problem? And he said, well, you know, he's just telling me the behind the scenes stuff.
I think that was a bad day for him because he was like, get out of Hollywood, get out of the entertainment industry, you know, go to New York, but then don't even do that. Like it seemed like he just was having a bad day. But hey,
another one, Eric, was do you remember Satie Peter Fonda?
Oh yeah,
with the bike movies, right?
Yeah,
and with the all the different Harley movies, and we're talking, and he we were thinking of maybe going riding, because out at his ranch they do off-roading, and he said he wasn't really into the Harleys that much. He was into the other bikes, and you learn these little behind the scenes in the movies. You think they go this way, but in reality, it's a whole different scenario.
Yeah, of course. I mean, my dad's personality out in public is very different than in his private life. And I think the same. Richard Dreyfuss, has a very divisive personality.
Yeah.
I mean, for whatever he brings to his characters, he has alienated a lot of folks because of how he is. And, the business can take a toll on how you interact with your public.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it all depends on who you surround yourself with and how you navigate the business.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure being in real estate, there's certain people have certain personalities. You got to talk to them a certain way. This person, you got to talk to this way, and so on and so forth.
What do you got in the back of your mind out there? Like something like, they call it the old bucket list. You're too young for that. But behind, what you're thinking, someday I would like to get into, what is there anything in particular, like a production, bigger production or something?
Well, yeah, I mean, I have my own narrative projects that I want to get off the ground. There's other subject matter I want to tackle as well. I'd like to be at the end of the day, I just want to work. I just want,
yeah.
I don't care about fame and all that stuff. I just want to work and make good projects with people.
So speaking of that, let me transition into Pan and Zoom. Okay, you have this show which we're going to be putting on Easy Way TV very soon, but we'll just use the YouTube for now. Talk to us a little bit about Pan and Zoom and what your plan is with this, and who's on here. What type of interviews are people going to be able to watch?
So Pan and Zoom kind of came to me as a way to just kind of stay in touch with folks in the industry, and just hearing the stories of not only actors and stuff, but all the craftsmen behind the scenes that make things work and how they got to where they are, and a lot of the time everyone's journey is kind of similar. They have a moment of inspiration by seeing a movie or a TV show and say, this is what I want to do, and then they seek out mentorship, and then they get a big break and they take advantage of it. And Pan and Zoom was my way to kind of illuminate these people's journey and inspire others to say, hey, I can do that. I can be a storyboard artist. I can be an actor. I can be a director. This person wrote My Cousin Vinny, and this is how he did it. I could do that too. Charlie Rose, I was always a fan of Charlie Rose and how he, spoke to his guests, and I wanted to emulate that. And through a friend of mine, she introduced me to the Pasadena Media Group, and I went and had a meeting with them, and I said, hey, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I always wanted to do like a movie review show or talk to the talent and hear about their journey, and they presented me with that opportunity. So almost 2 years later, bada bing, bada boom, here we are.
Yeah.
Well, we did the same thing with Sally Kirkland, before she passed away. That was where she shot her show. We were on her show numerous times. Actually, a lot of people, because they do give you opportunity, and they have a decent studio. And we actually
had Peppers, Eric, right? I seen the video a couple times.
We also had a studio at Pepper J's in Hollywood. There's a mansion situation. And we actually have a mansion out there in Pasadena. We do an event every on the 25th of July. It's the official National Parents Day event, and we honor incredible parents and the kids and the legacies. In fact, we can probably do something with you as well. But we have a mansion out there that we shoot at, and we do a lot of different stuff, which I haven't had a chance to talk to you about. But shout outs to Universal Peace Federation and the mayor of Pasadena and Los Angeles and everybody that's involved, and everybody that's going to be involved with us on July 25th, coming up for the official National Parents Day. It's an official day, like a Martin Luther King Day. And you have the studio out there, and so you're out in that Pasadena region. So there's more that we can talk about, we can do that we do out there in that area, and we're excited.
You mentioned Martin Luther King. I think when you said that, I remember that Quentin Aaron and I were in the back of a Mustang convertible in the parade, right?
Yeah, that was awesome, and our prayers go out to Quentin and his recovery.
Yeah.
Is he doing better?
What'd you say?
Is he doing better?
And what?
He is doing. You know, he's still kicking.
I haven't been to the hospital yet, but you know, he's got a real drive. You know, he's got a positive attitude.
Very, very ambitious, very, very eager, and very strong. He's a very strong and very, very good friend of mine. Known Q even before he was doing the Blind Side. And so anybody that's watching right now, please bow your heads and send prayers to Q and what they're going through. I believe he is awake now, so that's definitely progress.
Very good.
So this Pan and Zoom show, how many interviews have you done, and who are some of the biggest people on the show?
Gee, I've done about almost 24 interviews thus far, because I would do one a month. The biggest people, I would probably say Bill Duke, who you guys are well familiar with, and Glenn Turman are probably the biggest people. John Savage, who is in The Deer Hunter, it's a friend of mine. Those are probably the biggest folks.
I was with Bill when he got the start. I should have invited you down there.
I was there.
He was there,
okay. See?
I was there.
So we're bumping into each other a few places, but that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I might be your other son, James. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I want to invite you down. He's got a certain lounge he goes to. I want to get some of the people. We'll go there and do a little music.
Yeah, I know he's in Georgia right now, right? He went back to Georgia.
Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia, and he actually is one of our partners and actually has Bill Duke TV. We're relaunching some stuff with TV. So these are just some of the things that you guys can get excited about. These are just some of the content that we're getting ready to put on Easyway TV, and we are getting ready to launch our own kind of like a Netflix meets YouTube in a sense. It's going to be a whole different new platform, and Bill is a very close friend ultimately, and he is a partner, and we do have Bill Duke TV, which we're going to be getting your show, Pan and Zoom, at least this episode for sure. On Bill Duke TV. How did you meet Bill, and talk a little bit about your relationship with Bill?
I know Bill through my dad.
You
know, they known each other over the years, and just by proxy, you know, just knowing Bill, and Bill's been a big supporter of my films and stuff like that. And, you know, wonderful man, just steeped in history. Yeah, that's how I know him. Like I said,
is this pretty recent? It looks like this is a pretty recent interview.
I think I did it last year.
Okay.
We did it right before he moved to Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Bill Duke project?
Just off the top of my head, Deep Cover.
Deep Cover? Okay. I thought you were going to say either Car Wash, Predator, or Menace to Society. I mean, you also got X-Men and Black Lightning and on and on and on. I mean, he's definitely
Deep Cover, which he directed. Amazing film that still holds up. But, you know, in this interview, I kind of had a fun moment where I sang that little bit to him, and where he sings in Predator. You know, oh, Sally, she's so sweet. And I just started singing that to him. That was fun.
Nice.
And then I got him to do a little Menace to Society bit on like a little promo, where it's like, you know, you done effed up.
Yeah, you didn't F up, right? Yeah, you bought the bottle of beer precisely.
No, you know you done effed up. Yeah, so it's fun to have these little moments with the celebrities.
Yeah,
you know, kind of talk about their
everything that happened and
the zeitgeist of their moments. You know, like for my dad's documentary, we recently interviewed Dolph Lundgren because he did
Mm.
The Punisher and a movie called Cover Up with my dad, and he talked about working with my dad. But before that, I got him to do a little thing on where I had him do the Drago line, like if he dies, he dies.
You know, they say in Hollywood that it's tough now filming. It's a challenge. People are going to different states and so on to do filming, and just you know, across the board with different ways that you could do music and all that. But it also opens up a lot of new doors, new opportunities if you stay on top of it. You know, I mean, the sky's the limit, right?
The sky is the limit, and the good news is anyone can make a film, and the bad news is anyone can make a film.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly. Hey, and hello to Dr. Ebony and Jamie and Wendy and everybody that's tuned in. We do see you guys. We appreciate you guys. And Satie, if you could do me a favor and watch the screen. And every now and then there are people that are commenting. If we can acknowledge them every now and then. This is our Easy Way family that tunes in live every Monday. What do you think of the show so far?
I think it's cool. I think it's a nice back and forth banter, and you guys are asking great questions. And I don't know if questions come in from the viewers, but it's good to just get a chance to talk about the story.
Yeah, we just keep it kickback, you know, like we're hanging out at the house, you know.
Yeah.
And we had that opportunity through Eric. I mean, you know, you'd see him at the events, and then we'd be at their house the next day, you know, or something like that. It's kind of fun kicking back with some of the people, finding out who they are and what they're really like.
Yeah.
And, it's a lot of great people that really like helping. It's really.
You know, you mentioned the Bill Duke star and the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I just wanted to just throw this out really fast for us. This was the first time ever that was mentioned live on Variety. When they did his star, they actually mentioned Easy Way Network during his introduction. So you know, because he has Bill Duke TV. And they said on Easy Way Network. So shout outs to all of our fans and everybody that hit us up. And they're like, oh my God, I heard Easy Way Network on a star. You know, and shout outs to Bill and their team for that, you know, that drop. It's not everybody that gets a mention and a, you know, support from the Hollywood Walk of Fame and Variety, you know, live on Variety. When are you gonna
you look in the back, you might see my head back there behind the guy.
Okay. We'll keep watching really closely to see if we can see Satie Gossett.
I had to take off to the airport. Did you go to the after party?
I did go to the after party.
Yeah, I was worried I couldn't make it, but it's I don't know. It's fun kicking back. That's what I like, the kickback time, because during the event you can go to 50 events with people and not have time to talk because you're so busy, especially doing camera or whatever. And then it's the after time that's kind of fun when you actually get to kick back. And we've been talking about an Easy Way weekend for years, where we're just going to get together and like Catherine Colbert-Pacino and Bill. I mean, we've been to 100 events together and we hardly have 15 minutes to talk. So we're going to do, let's go get together down Dana Point Harbor and go to Catalina for a couple of days to kick back.
Really fast, Dad, not to interrupt you, but I did find the part where they actually mentioned us, and I wanted to just play this really fast on the show.
Black-owned technology group Push 2.0, he will tour a cutting-edge immersive digital exhibition beginning this fall. In parallel, the Bill Duke TV channel is now streaming on the Easy Way Network, featuring empowering programming and fan-favorite films from his career.
There you go.
That, right?
Pretty cool.
There you go.
Yeah. And you know, we're gonna do. What do you think that we're gonna do together, Satie? You've seen Easy Way Network. You've seen how we roll. You've seen what we do. You know, we're friends now. Where do you see this future relationship going?
Well, hope there's synergy on multiple levels as far as, you know, bringing funding to projects and distributing projects, and hopefully collaborating with like-minded artists like myself. And you know, it's all about kind of building your team.
Yeah.
And you're successful, you know, like Ryan Coogler rolls with certain folks, and there's a reason for that. Spielberg rolls with certain folks, and there's a reason for that, because you got to build that trust and shorthand so you can be your best. You know, you don't have to watch your back, and you can collaborate and elevate everything that you touch.
you touch on music at all? I noticed that, a lot of the guys like Clint used to, fool around. Everybody would get together, he'd play the piano, stuff like that.
Yeah,
And,
interesting.
like Clinton, he was a sax guy. Eric's a little bit of a sax. And
Yeah, I played sax in high school and junior.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I played alto and soprano sax.
You're an alto. You're an alto brother, right?
then,
D, B. I'll see if I remember. C, A.
Yeah,
I still kind of remember it.
and then I stopped after my sophomore year, and then my dad was a folk singer and a guitarist, and he picked it up in the last couple of years of life. When he passed, his guitar, he left his guitar, so I've always wanted to like learn and take it seriously. So I've been like taking guitar lessons for the past year or so.
I'm in with you. Yep. I love it. Guitar and piano are two regrets I had that I didn't follow, but you're never too old. I'm still going to take it on. Bill's got a club he goes to not far from his house, I think. And I'm going to get some of the music people. We're going to go down there and met different people. And I've always been a Satchmo fan. Since 1957. The guy with the gruff voice sang one of the most beautiful songs ever, right? What a Wonderful World. And that to me was a heartfelt entertainer. I'm going to do a rendition with Satchmo and Crosby.
Wonderful.
How about that for a combination?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And that'll happen. And I might get saxophone for like 5 years. About 5 years.
So Tay, we have another 5 minutes left in the show. I'm gonna give you another minute or so to promote whatever you want. What's up next for you, man? What do you want the fans to do to support you?
Yeah, right now I'm just concentrated on the documentary and doing my show Pan and Zoom and seeing where that goes. Just trying to actively get my other material off the ground. I'm doing a table read for a narrative script that I wrote, and just doing it that way.
Question is, what do you do in your spare time? Is there any of that?
Well, raising my son who's 14 and doing my guitar.
Yeah.
And other than that, spare time is kind of far and few between.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That was a kind of a just question. Same with Eric.
I think that getting back into the discipline of writing again is feeling good.
Well, I didn't know that you were a father. I'm gonna talk to you more about our National Parents Day.
Yeah, I have 3 children.
Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, you'd definitely be a perfect candidate for Universal Peace Federation, United Nations, supported by United Nations. It's a big National Parents Day thing we do at City Hall. So I'll talk to you more about that.
Are you a golfer at all?
Only Tiger Woods on PS5.
Yeah, same with us. Eric and I golf about once every 20 years. So
we'll definitely have to get more into your family, said Tay. I didn't know you had three kids. I love to hear the balance and the behind the scenes. But we don't have enough time for today's episode. But we'll definitely have you back, and we'll get more into your family. Maybe you can bring your family on. We'd love to have family shows. This is a family network.
Yeah,
let's have them come down to the ranch.
Yeah, I went to Topgolf once and almost swung myself into that net. They have that net. If you fall off, it's like I almost fell into that thing because you try and use a golf club like a baseball bat instead of proper technique.
We invite you and your sons down to come out to the ranch. It's a short 9-hole course, nice restaurant, and we'll kick back for a day. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
So, guys, you can search Satie on the Easyway Wall of Fame.com or the Easyway app, Easyway Interactive. You can search for him and get connected to him in the app. The invite code is Easyway if you're watching the show. Thank you so much for joining us, Satie. We'll be talking more behind the scenes. This was an awesome moment and experience. So, in closing, I'm going to go ahead and give you the screen and say, hey, I'm Satie Gossett, the legendary son, the legacy of Louis Gossett Jr., and I want you guys to keep watching Easyway TV so we can get a drop for you and put you in the lineup.
Wonderful. I'd like to thank everyone for watching the show. This is Satie Gossett, and just grateful for Easyway, opening their arms and including me in the network, and hopefully the relationship continues and continue to meet and collaborate and create with all these folks so we can create wonderful product for the world to see.
All
Well
right.
said. I love it. And those of you guys that are watching, if you want to download the app, you just click on the QR code that's on the screen right now. Just get to your camera out on your phone, scan that QR code, and then click on register. The invite code is Easy Way. Download the app. We also want to promote our book, Easy Way's Best the Best. You guys can be in the book. We do it every year. This was about a two-time bestseller, two-time Amazon bestseller. And then my book, The Influence Effect, you guys can get that on Amazon. As well as Walmart and Barnes and Noble and so much else. You can get the app. Make sure you get the app, because this is where all the magic happens. And as always, we have the VIP pitch party coming up this Thursday. So if you guys want to join and connect with great people and you want to pitch what you have going on, we have thousands of people that watch the VIP pitch party, and it's a great networking. It was published as one of the top networking opportunities on Zoom. We got the NSMA, the National Social Media Awards, coming up. We got the Easy Way Arizona happening. Shout outs to Patriox Water, our sponsor on today's show. Patriox Water is a great a product for blood flow. Trailblazers TV coming out soon, guys. We're having all the biggest and best trailblazers from the top level executives from Walmart and down, big business trailblazers, as well as entrepreneurial and industry trailblazers. And shout outs to Satoshi Mobile, our new mobile app distribution will be on the Satoshi mobile phones here pretty soon. Shout outs to Podfest as well. Podfest is a Guinness Book of World Records Podfest Expo. Another partnering up with Easy Way Network. And as always, we donate to Better Vision for Children. Follow Better Vision for Children on Instagram. Support Better Vision for Children. And this is why we do all these different broadcasts, and everything we do is to support children and early prevention, testing, eye awareness. That way you do early prevention for worsening illnesses and things like that. So all of you guys, the Easy Way family, we appreciate you guys. And as always, I'm giving you guys a little wink. Thank you for tuning in. Satie Gossett, look for him on the Easy Way Wall of Fame. Look for him on the Easy Way app. Look for the group RBL Live, or really Easy Way Live. The Easy Way Live says all of our lives are going to be in that group for you guys to tune in, make it real simple for you in the app. And then we are going to be launching a major television network on a whole nother level with a lot of content. This is just some of the ideas. We have the co-founder of LA Fitness and top flight entrepreneur with from zero to wealth. We have a 12-year-old. I'm sorry, now he's like a 16-year-old kid who's a talk show host. We have tap interviews. We have over 400 different movies. We have TV series. We have boxing. We have fighting. We have music channels. We have music videos. We have AI. We have so much on Easy Way TV. So make sure you go to Easy Way TV on Instagram. Follow that. Go to easyway.tv and subscribe. And thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Next week, we'll have another great guest. If you guys want to be a guest on RBL Live, you can go to www.rblive.com and click on guest and let us know. Go ahead, Dan.
Mention the archive shows. We got a lot of amazing RBL shows. I was going through some of the old ones, and you just scroll back, and there's some super guests. I mean, very informative about health and everything. And I'm going through some of the old shows and taking notes still now. And these are shows from years ago.
Oh yeah, the RBL Live is. We've been around for almost 9 years now. And you started with Aretha Gray, Betty White's co-star, and you guys started a great show for all things human from a baby boomer's perspective, and then I came in, and now we're doing the whole father-son thing, and if you guys want to go to the archives shows, you can go to Easy Way TV on YouTube. And you go to the live, and you'll see a lot of our lives and a lot of the archive lives from all the different shows that we've done. And as you can see, we've transitioned from different branding. And you'll see the VIP pitch party on here. You'll see RBL Live. You'll see a lot of the guests that we've had. You'll see a lot of other lives that we do. You'll see the Influence the Influence the Income Summit. That was a real amazing one. That was huge. You'll see my show,
investments and health. It's a treasure trove of information.
It really is. You'll see lives from events that we've done in the past. All of our lives are pretty much on here. So shout outs to YouTube for that. And we're getting ready to launch our own HLS, our own 24/7 channel. So that's where everything's getting ready to be very soon. easyway.tv. So you guys want to make sure you subscribe. In fact, this one's kind of fun. This is Darth Vader. You know, I did a fun
Yeah.
interview, a fun show with Darth Vader himself. Spencer Wilding. That was a lot of fun. So there's a lot of great stuff that you guys can go through, and we'll do our best to make it more and more simple for you guys. But if you go to Easyway Live on the app, all of this is going to be right there in that group. Remember, you can create your own groups, your own communities. And thank you for supporting Better Vision for Children, guys. Thank you for all of our sponsors. Thank you to all of our sponsors on the event. And make sure that you look for the Easyway Awards Golden Gala. We're going to be putting the whole award show, the whole episode. We'll have about 6 episodes coming out. It was live streamed on pay-per-view. And then a couple events coming up, just so you guys can put it in your calendar. If you go to easywayevents.com, this is where all of our events within the community, within the network is located. So we have a big fighting event with over 1,000 people coming up. And we have the VIP pitch party this Thursday. We have a political event with Councilwoman Amy Fan West. We have a Kentucky Derby event coming up we have the National Parents Day coming up. There's the fight event. There's the fashion event that just happened. We had an exclusive golf tournament with the NFL alumni we just did. And then there's so much more. There's so many more.
I wanted to mention real quick, Eric, Denise Estelle with Honor Thy Father will be doing another one of the Honor Thy Father Awards. And I thank her for opening up a new branch and give me that, opportunity. And she's also working with me, Eric, with the Better Vision for Children testing, the screening. And we did a school, and we're going to be also working with 2 other entities for screening, homeless children and some of the different areas down in LA. And eventually I'll be also working with gentlemen up in Arizona for the reservation, the Indian reservations.
Well, let's have them go to the app for anything more that they have to get, Dad, because we are out of time. So if you want to just go ahead and close it up. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure you subscribe to www.rbllive.com. If you did enjoy the show, keep doing it the easy way. And Dad, go ahead and close it out.
So guys, bbccharity.org. Thanks for all your support of part 1 and part 2, a vision for the eyes and a vision for their future with mentoring and guidance. So until next week, keep moving, keep the faith, and Radio Boomers Live is signing out.
And guys, this is a promo on the National Social Media Awards coming up on June 7th. You want to make sure you put it in your calendars. Do not miss it. And this is one of our biggest events of the year. We'll be back next week, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Look on the Easy Way app and on the calendar for our next episode. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Easy Way, where dreams ignite. Families come together, we got our light. In our community, everything feels right. We're building the future, starting tonight. Easy Way first a brand new land. Vendor active, apples in your hand. Making connections, all part of the plan. Let's rock the world, understand. Easy Way family, we were strong and bold. Together we rise, our story unfolds. In the verse we got tales to be told. Easy Way, life is pure gold. From morning to moonlight we stay tight. Sharing our path, shining so bright. Through the app our connections take flight. In the verse we live right. Every click, every tap brings us near. Building our dreams without fear. Our community's love, it's crystal clear. Welcome to Easy Way, we cheer. Easy Way family, we're strong and bold. Together we rise, our story unfolds. In the verse we got destiny told.
Where dreams ignite, there's a place where visions take flight. Entrepreneurs gather round at the